Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm an international student studying in Melbourne. I have been in Melbourne for about 2 years, and I'm studying for a Master of Media and RIT. I came to Australia on a working holiday visa at first, and after a year of working holiday, I felt I still wanted to stay in Melbourne. That's why I stayed. Then my study abroad journey began. When it comes to differences of study abroad, one thing that is sure to be mentioned is the language barrier. As we all know, the office language of Taiwan is Mandarin, and that is a big problem. When I started to live and study in Australia, not only do I have to use English for daily conversation, even classes and academic discussion were all in English. Australia is known for being a diverse and culturally friendly country. It also means there are many different cultures in this place, and people may have different accents. And it also reminds me of when I first arrived in Australia and tried to get used to all the different accents. And that where the jokes come in. I remember one of my India classmates was kind enough to share a joke with me. I didn't get it once, so he told me again. But since I couldn't understand the India accent, and because of my past expression, he explained it again. However, I was still unable to understand the joke. I just didn't get it. I even don't know whether it is the language barrier or the cultural differences. However, it was too embarrassed to ask him to explain a third time. So I just smiled and pretended to understand what he's talking about. But in fact, I still don't know what the punchline of the joke was. I feel really sorry for him, but I really didn't get it. Anyway, this is just a small episode during classes. Besides, although I'm willing to come to Australia to study, my life is not just limited to study on campus. After all, living in Australia, which famous food is wine, it would be a waste not to drink some local wine, right? So, going to BWS every week to buy a bottle of good wine and taste it can be said to be one of my great pleasures in life here. Hi, excuse me. May I ask where's your wine display?
By the whiskey.
Thanks, but I prefer wine.
What?
Oh, okay. Thank you. It is really a good experience. That's why I always have more motivated to improve my English. Being in a foreign country, it is always hard to avoid homesickness. Not to mention a country with a very different language and culture.
Everything sucks. Just kidding. Everything's great. Not really. I haven't think about my home country 2 days away.
I just did. In Taiwan, there's a saying in our proverb, food is the most important thing for people. And that's totally true. Let me show you how different the food is from Taiwan and Australia. This is the food I ate in Australia. I know if it's just me, but people here don't seem to like soupy food. They really like chips, beer, and steak here. They sell them on almost every street. But the beer here is really good. Oh, here's also a lot of brunch store here. Oh, and this one is really tasty. Okay, now it's time for Chinese cuisine. This is what we eat for breakfast. And this is the snack you can get in the night market. 盐酥鸡、肉羹、锅贴、酸辣汤、蒸饺，还有牛肉卷饼。And this is kind of Taiwan traditional hot pot. Also some traditional food. And this is seafood hot pot. Taiwanese are really crazy for seafood. Really. We love seafood. And this is the beef noodle soup made by my mom. After seeing so much food photos, I miss my hometown food again. So in order to avoid the problem of not being able to eat my hometown food, I start to cook by myself. To avoid failure, I start with something simple, making milk tea. Super simple one. If you have hands, you can do it. Tasty. Then I start trying something really neat to cook. Scallion pancake. Taiwan's traditional breakfast, also my favorite. And I also add cheese and eggs. This dish is quite simple. Just fry until both sides are brown. Look a little bit not pretty. Whatever, learn to do it by the same time. And now fry egg and sausage. It looks pretty nice. And turn over. Ta-da! Oh, it doesn't look right. Try again. Much better. I felt I'll challenge myself with more advanced cooking. Dumpling. And start from making dumpling whippers. And then the long process of whipping the dumplings. This is a video I sped out 20 times. It is an exhausting process. But when I saw the finished product, I was so happy and accomplishment. So even though it took me about 3 hours to cook, just to get the taste of home cooking, it was worth it. There are often small tricks in the cooking process, such as making heart-shaped dumpling whipper, giant dumplings. Now I can understand why so many people say you may not learn a lot through study abroad, but you definitely will become an amazing chef. Overall, it's not easy to study and live abroad. But Melbourne is a really beautiful place and most people are really friendly. I'm glad I chose Melbourne as a place to start my new life. Yay! It's finally getting to the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching. And now I have to turn in this assignment. I have been working on it for days, and I finally turned it in. What? That was yesterday? What? Oh my gosh. I will tell you what kind of strange thing I have made in class in the next episode.